Hi, my name is Akiade Adetunji. I'm the founder of Ceasar Graphics and Ceasar Graphics Academy. In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how to achieve successful photo manipulation project using one of the design I received from one of my group members. I'm going to be showing you guys my process and I'm so excited. I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy this video. So let's start. Before doing any photo manipulation, all right, you need to pay attention to your focus. Your that's the focus, the purpose of why you're making the project. So here, our focus is the product, and the camera angle, the light on the product is what is going to inspire the other elements we're going to add to this project to make it look the way we want it. The reason why this is not successful is because the designer did not really pay attention to the camera angle, the lights. So I'm going to quickly show you guys. I'm going to do a breakdown now of the things you need to focus on whenever you are asked to work on project like this. So pardon me. So breakdown. So the first thing we need to focus on is the camera. All right. The camera is the first thing we need to focus on. So the angle of the camera, which is the angle. Okay, then the second thing you need to focus on is the lights. All right, the lights. Okay, so and then the third thing is the color. Okay, so here, if you look at this image here now, you'll notice that the camera is somewhere. The camera is somewhere here. All right, somewhere here. The camera is here, and that's why we can see the front side of the bottle like this. So it means the floor should be. There are two ways you can make the floor. Is that you do this? I'm gonna create a new layer. Is that you make the floor face this angle? All right. Is that you make the floor face this angle, or another way you can make the floor is to do this. All right. So then the other thing we need to look at is the lights. So our lights, we have two lights here. And I want you guys to pay attention to this. We have two lights here. There's one light here. All right. This is light one. All right. And there's another light at the back. And that's why we have this effect here. Okay, I'm going to move this above this. There's another light here behind the bottle, and this is the second light, light 2. Okay, and then the color used here is gold. So now, if we're not going to put together our elements, we need to watch out, look at how we can make this light here. All right, the light behind, I'm talking because the light we have behind the bottle is still the effect of the light is what we have here. So what we now need to do is to create what's going to make the light behind the bottle, no, it will be 2, the light behind the bottle visible, and also have that light effect here, that'll make this object visible on the front view. So watch how I'm going to do this and make this bold. Like that. So this is our focus, like so. So I'm going to position that here like that. Good. So drag and drop again. So I'm using Photoshop CC 2023. So I'm going to hold on shift and position this there, and I'll make this go down and make this bigger. Right click and select skew and push this in. So I'm trying to create my floor here now. So I'll move this out like that. Zoom out like that. Right click and hit the scale option here and push this down. All right. Still gonna push this up a bit like that. All right, and put this here. All right, then I'll make this go up a bit like so. Good. Okay, Then um, I'm still going to use the same image again because I want to make it this look like this object is on a table. So I can stretch this, or we can even make it bigger and position this here. All right, so I'm going to push this. Okay, let's make this go below this like that. So I'm going to draw a shape now with the rectangle marquee tool. Rectangle tool, and I'll move this here like that and change this to no stroke and make this white. Good. All right, then I'll make this visible now and position this above the layer of my rectangle shape, and hold on Alt and clip this to the to the shape. So I'm going to move everything up a bit. Just move everything up a bit like that. Okay. Then I still feel like pushing this up a bit. So I'm holding down Shift as I do that. Then the other thing I'm going to do again is I'm still going to bring in the same image and still rotate this and make this go down and move this down. All right. I think I'm doing something wrong here. So this should be here and this should be here. Okay. So we can move this up like that, and good. All right. I'll make a copy of this with Ctrl J and place this here. Right, hit free transform and flip this horizontal. Close that there and activate free transform and make this big. Good. Then I'll put this in a group with Ctrl G. Then yeah. So I'm gonna draw. I'm gonna use the rectangle tool here to draw a shape like that. Then I'll change the corners to 300. All right, so I'm trying to draw my window here. So activate free transform and push this down. All right, so I'll hit Control and click on the thumbnail of the rectangle shape, and I'm going to hold on Alt and click on the layer mask button here to create a mask like that. And I'm going to activate free transform on the sky layer and make this big like so. All right, good. Then let's see. So for this side of the table, we need to make it darker. So what I'll do is I'm going to activate curve and select the clip icon here because I only want this to affect this side of the the wood. So I'm going to move this in like that because here we need to make it look like here there's no light. The amount of light on the bottom part of the table is not much. So because I have curve adjustments affecting the saturation of the color, so I'm going to change my blend mode to luminosity to stop affecting the saturation and focus on only making the bottom part of the table darker like that. And then this side here, which is this, I'm also going to make the same move. I'm going to add curve, and this time I'm going to push this down a bit. Then this should only affect the table like that, and change this again to luminosity, and I'm going to move this down like that. Select this layer here, add a layer mask, add a new layer, excuse me, and I'm going to switch to black here. Select the brush tool, and I'm going to softly, I'm supposed to be on transfer here. Yeah, pen pressure is checked, and I'm going to zoom out a bit and softly apply my brush like that to the bottom part of the table like so. And we need to create a separation here. All right, because it looks as if there's this part of the table and the bottom part of the table are together. So what we're going to do to create separation there is through the use of light. All right, so I'm going to hold on Alt and clip this again here, and I'm going to hold on Alt again and sample the color from here, and I'm going to make my brush a bit smaller, and I'm going to softly apply a brush, like that, and change the blend mode here to screen. Right, so I want to create that separation there, like that. Okay, so I'm gonna reduce the opacity of this a bit, and let's see what else again. Okay, so I think I still need to add more brush to this. No, excuse me, I should be on black, and yeah, don't worry, I'm going to fix that later. So we can now reduce the opacity of this. And for this, all right, we also need to add brush to this. So I'll push this here and change the blend mode to multiply, and then softly apply the brush, like that. Okay. Yeah, so we're making sense now. So for the window, all right, which is the upper part of the table, we need to create something like, because right now this side is open, so we need to be able to create something that will make it look like, yes, this side is actually covered. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to create a new layer and clip this, all right, to the table, and I'm going to use the lasso tool, or let's say polygonal lasso tool, all right, to draw my part. No, sorry, my part's supposed to start from here. All right, and I'll move this side. I'll move this here. Move this here. Like that. Good. Then I'm going to fill this with black by holding on Alt and backspace, like that. And I'm going to select the Control D on my keyboard, like that. And right now I'm going to convert this to a smart object. Then I'll go to Filter, Blur Gallery, and select the Field Blur option here. All right. Then I'm going to turn this to 0, and I'll add a pin here. And this pin needs to be a bit wider, and move this here and move this to this side and make this one a bit smaller. So this also needs to be a bit smaller, like that. So move this here, add another pin, and make this one very soft. This can come here like that. We can even push this out a bit more, like so. And we're going to make the same move to the other side. So I'm going to do the same move, make this a bit smaller, make this also a bit smaller, and this can now go up. Make this up a bit. So I'll go back. I'm going to delete this. Yeah. And this can go up. And we can move this back a bit. Good. So I'm going to select the OK button. All right. Then I'm going to reduce the opacity of this a bit, like that. All right. Then I'm going to add layer mask to this. Now watch this. Now this side here should not have too much shadow. Why? Because there's a light effect from this side of the project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the shadow a bit from this side. Now why I'm doing this is because of the light I'm going to add to this side of the project. But for the other side here, I'm still going to add more shadows. So I'm going to even make this more, darker, like that. So this side needs to be more darker. And for the background, yep. So I'm going to make this, darker, like that. Good. So I'm going to hit Control I on my keyboard and switch to white here. And I'm going to, no, it should be white. So I'm going to add the shadow to this side of the project. Now it's because of the lights we're adding to this side of the project. That's why we're not really extending the brush to this side of the project. All right. I want you guys to take note of that. So I'm going to add more shadow to that area. I hope, let's just put everything in a group. So shift select everything and put them in a group. Control and G. Good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight to hue saturation and select the clip icon. Why I'm desaturating the wood is because the wood is not really the focus. The focus is this. So we need to desaturate it, you know, like that. And the other thing we now need to do is to add more depth to the wood by adding curve. And I'm going to do the S curve, you know, like that, to really make focus go on the wood like so. All right, so I'm just going to move this up, and I hope you guys can see now that this is making more good. Now we need to now do some tweaking here. Now this bottom part of the table is off, so what I'm going to do is to go to the group folder here and see what I can fix. Okay, I think this is it here. Good. So I'm going to turn down, I'm going to reduce the opacity of this a bit because we need to see that bottom part of the table like that. For this side here, I'm still going to take out the no, that's too much. So I'm going to softly take this out, you know, like that. And let's still add more curve to this. Okay. I'm going to add more curve to this like that. Okay, so for the background, all right, I'm going to desaturate this by pushing this down like that. I'm going to desaturate this like that. And also we are still going to do the S curve by adding more curve to this, and just to, you know, boost the background a bit like that. And, you know, just this there. And for this, I'm going to move this up a bit like that because we still need to see touch of this light on this side of the, you know, the project. All right, because light is very powerful, so we need to still see touch of the lights on, you know, the project, like, you know, like that. Okay, so this side here is now looking too dark. So what I'm going to do is desaturate the, sorry, why am I saying desaturate? I'm going to turn down the opacity of this a bit, and let's see what else again do I still. Yeah, this also need to go down a bit. Yeah, like that. Good. Then the other thing I'm going to do now is for the sky, I'm going to move the sky up a bit. In fact, I'm going to make this bigger. Then, so we need to create distance here. I want it to look like, yeah, the sky is actually far from us. So I'm going to use levels to do that. So I'm going to move from this side down like that. So the idea is to make it look like the sky is far from the subject. Let's make this shape visible and change this to white like that. Good. And I'm going to activate free transform and make this bigger like that. So I'm going to make a copy of this. So I like, you know, having backup for when I'm doing stuff like this. So I'm going to call this sunlight and do that now. So I'll convert this to a smart object, and I'll go to filter, blur, and hit Gaussian blur. So I'm going to call it glow like that. All right, like that. I'm going to add a layer mask to this and go to filter, render, and say cloud. All right, like that. And yeah, this is good. So I'm going to select the layer mask of the, you know, the glow, switch to black here, and take the glow away from, you know, the cloud like that. Hold on control and click on the thumbnail of the layer mask, and I'm going to hold on control shift and I to reverse the mask and apply my brush to the selected area. So the idea is to avoid making the you know, the effect of the brush go outside of the selected area. So I'm going to hit Control D now to deselect this, and boom, this is what we have. And I'm seriously loving this. So what else can we do here? So I'm still going to extend my, you know, the glow a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the brush tool and switch to white, and then I'm going to softly, you know, extend this like that. If I let's hold down Control and click on the thumbnail and hit Control H to hide the, the marquee. And I'm still going to extend this, a bit, like, like that. Okay. So we can even take out some of the unwanted area like that. Yeah, this is good. Then, yeah. So what else can we do here? So what I'm going to do now is I need to add something like a light effect. So I'm going to go to Google now and type light flare here, like so. And I'm going to pick one of the light effect from this. Okay, let's use this. Then I'm going to drag this and drop here. And this should be above the sky. And I'll change the blend mode here to screen. And then I'm going to position this somewhere around here. All right, so we can even make this, a bit, bigger, like so. Okay, then for the table, we also need to have that light effect on the table there. So what I'm going to do is to hold down Control and click on the thumbnail of the table, and I'm going to create a layer. We call this stem sunlight effect. So I'm going to select the brush tool now and extend my lights to this side here, and also extend it to this side here. Yeah, let's do it on everything. So I'm going to select the color balance here, because color balance is what I mostly use to unite the color on my project. Now watch this. What inspired the color I'm using today is the color from the glass. So I'm going to achieve the color from the glass now, and I'm going to move this down like that. And let's see if I move this to this side, because magenta and yellow gives you brown. All right, and that's what I'm trying to achieve here. I know somebody's smiling and feeling happy for him or herself there for now. And for the table, I'm still going to make one move again on the table. So I'm going to activate the marquee on the table layer, and I'm going to hit Control H to hide my marquee there, and I'm going to select the brush tool, and I'm going to softly apply, my brush to this side here. Why? Because I still want it to look like the light from the sky here is what made us see this light here. So I'm going to come back here and go under the highlights. All right. And we are going to go on the highlight here and make the same move and move this to the side like that. Now you see that we're beginning to have the same color from the bottle. All right. And that is why our project here is looking successful. I'm supposed to hit Control D because there's a marquee going on in the background there. So I'm going to activate curve and push this up like that and hit Control I. And I'm going to hold on Control to click on the thumbnail of the layer mask on the color balance here and hit Control H to hide the marquee and select the brush tool. And I'm going to extend. Now, sorry, we're supposed to be on white here. So I'm going to extend this, like that. All right. So we're still on the part of creating unity here. So because we have this light effect behind the bottle, we should have something that shows, yes, the effect of the light is really causing serious issue here on the, the table. So I'm going to select the lasso tool here, and I'm going to randomly draw, a shape here like that. And I'm going to hit Control J, and this should be behind this. Then I'm going to push this here, go to filter, blur, say Gaussian blur, and just move this up like that and hit OK and change this to light. Now I'm going to activate free transform, and I'm going to distort this. So I'll go to distort and move this here, move this here, what's here, like that. Like that. Move this here. We are going to create a new layer now and call this layer shadow. So I'll call this shadow. like that. And I'm going to select the brush tool, then go to the brush settings here, go to the brush tip, and I'm going to make my brush really flat like that. And let's see, we're going to be on black here. And so because we have the lights coming from this side here, so we are not going to have that. Our shadow is going to come, it's going to be on this side here. So I'm going to softly apply the brush, like so, to the project. All right, so we're going to softly apply that there, like that. So don't forget to change this to multiply. All right. So we are not going to put any shadow here. Why? Because like I said, there's this light coming from this side here. So that light is not going to give us a chance to apply any shadow to this side of the project. So I'm just going to apply this here like that. And this should be enough because I'm going to hold down Alt and Backspace, which is the color on my foreground here, because I want the color balance to affect both the background and the table. All right. Yeah, so for the background, all right, for my wall here, I still feel like making this wall a bit darker. My wall here is still, I don't know, still not working. It's not working the way I want it. So I'm going to make this more darker, like, not like that. All right, then let's push this out a bit and desaturate it again, like that. Perfume, which is the focus, so we need to add depth to the focus. So I'm going to add curve again, select the clip icon, and we are going to boost this like so. The item, all right, which is the focus. Okay, yep, I'm using this, so I'm going to turn this down a bit like that. Good. So we're going to do something like a spotlight, like that. So I'm going to create a new layer and just do a spotlight. So my spotlight is going to cover from here down here, because I'm sure you guys can see that there's this lighter part of the on this part of our focus here. So I'm going to stop right here and add another point there. Good. Then I'm going to fill this layer with, let's pick the color from design here. So I'll fill this with Alt Backspace because that's the color of my foreground here. All right, good. Then I'll go to filter, blur, and hit Gaussian blur. All right, so I'm going to move this here and change the blend mode to screen and add the layer mask to this and go to filter, and I'm going to select render and say cloud like that, and I'm going to turn the opacity of this down a bit. Okay, then I'll activate free transform on this and select distort. So I'm going to move this forward a bit, like that. And we're going to just push this down a bit. So we can even still go back and add more Gaussian blur to this. Like one thing I just feel like doing here before I go. All right. Yeah, so I feel like changing the color of this to something more smoky, like brown like. So let's use channel mixer. All right, so under the channel mixer, I'll go on the red, and I'll add more red to this, and go on the blue, and on the blue channel, under the red channel here, I'm going to decrease the red like that to give that sunlight glow effects to the projects. Yeah, I think this is good. So I'll go back to the red now, and let's see if I move this down a bit. I think I over applied the red like that. Good. And this is beautiful. So I'm going to stamp visible the project now by holding on Ctrl Shift Alt and E. And let's take this to camera raw. I'm going to right click and say convert to smart objects. Then I'll go to filter, go to camera raw filter here. And let's add depth to this project now. So I'll go straight to the lights here and increase the, okay, let's decrease the contrast and add more exposure to this. And for the highlight, I'm going to move this up like so. For the shadow, I'm going to move that also up. Yeah. Then I'm going to push black down, like that. And I'll go straight to the effect here. And I'm going to add grain to this, which is noise. And we also need to add vignettes to this so as to make the focus be on the item. And on the details here, I'm going to increase sharpening, like that to really add depth to the pixels. And I think that's it. So I'm going to hit the OK button and boom, this is the final project. So now I hope this makes sense to you, and let's see if I really made this look better or not. So let's see the before and after. This is the after and this is the before. I'm glad you made it to the end of this tutorial. If you have not subscribed, remember to hit the subscribe button and remember to click the post notification bell so you get notified when I post my tutorials. If there's anything you want to share with me, kindly drop it in the comment section of this video. Give this video a thumbs up if you love it. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.